Good morning, all. Today I'm here to talk to you about the future of building materials. Throughout the ages, we have seen the construction industry undergo a series of building material innovations, from concrete used in ancient structures to the production of steel for bridges and skyscrapers. Despite its growth, the construction industry faces a number of challenges from natural disasters and cost to environmental concerns. To address some of these challenges, materials are being engineered to be smarter, stronger, self-sustaining, and easier on environment. Some of the materials are self-healing concrete. Concrete is the most common material used in the construction, and crack formation is one of the most common phenomenon in it. Researchers are being made to improve the concrete behavior by addition of microorganisms. The concrete used here is self-healing concrete, which is also known as bioconcrete. It can be produced by acting bacteria in concrete along with its nutrient called calcium lactate to keep it alive for the production of calcite to fill the cracks. The bacteria used is Bacillus subtilis. The point is, why bacteria subtilis? Because it's able to adjust in alkaline atmosphere in the concrete for the production of calcium lactate. It also produces copious amounts of calcite without being affected by the calcium ion concentration. The working process is, in bioconcrete, when the water seeps through the process, the bacteria gets activated from its stage of dormancy and it starts to feed on the calcium lactate and in turn produces calcium carbonate through its metabolic activities. The reactions are as follows. The materials used are ordinary Portland cement, crushed aggregate of size 20 mm, sand, water, calcium lactate, Bacillus subtilis. And the quantity of Bacteria subtilis used is 8 liter per meter cube and calcium lactate is 20 kg per meter cube. And the surface healing cracks. The crack widths are measured at different points and marked for observations of self-healing. As we can see, on the third day, the calcium crystals started appearing on the surfaces, and on the seventh day, the bacteria action produced more calcite to fill the cracks. On the 14th day, the width of the crack started decreasing, and on the 28th day, the cracks were healed completely. The widths are measured, and difference between original crack width and the observed on the later days was considered as a measure of self. And the advantages of these concrete is it improves the compressive strength of concrete, it saves the maintenance and repair costs, it increases service life of structures, and it reduces corrosion of reinforcements. The applications are for constructing underground retainers for hazardous waste, for high-rise buildings and buildings in seismic zones, for water retaining structures, and for concrete floors, tunnel linings, and basement walls. Next comes a system that cools the walls alone, helping to reduce the heat on the days of high temperature. The thing is basically to make the walls sweat. And hydroceramic. What exactly the hydroceramic is? As the name suggests, it is made of clay which is porous and able to increase the humidity. Hydroceramic, it works as an evaporative cooling device which reduces temperature. It can lower the temperature around 5 to 6 degrees Celsius and its performance is directly proportional to the heat in the outdoor environment. Hydrogel refers to a class of substance that absorbs and retains 500 times the weight in water. The fabrication process. The structure of the prototype is like a sandwich. It begins with an outer layer of clay which is baked at 1000 degrees Celsius. The surface is filled with cone-shaped holes that allow excess of water and air to pass into the hydrogel. The first layer can also be said as clay breathing layer, following with a cloth called a stretching cloth. It absorbs water and works as a transmitter of liquid and allows volume changes in the hydrogel while holding it in position. The final layer is also made of clay, but it's thinner and perforated so the cooling increases. The final mechanism is similar to the passive mechanism of earthenware pitchers, as you all are aware of, and the test setup consists of a piping system, which in its proposal could be with a tank that collects the rainwater as a harvest, and it is followed by the perforative box compared to the control. After treated with extreme heat, resulted in 5 degrees in difference in the temperature. The advantages are it saves up to 28% of overall electricity consumption caused by the traditional air conditionings, and it is also a low cost alternative building technology. And coming to the biochar is a charcoal like substance that's made by burning organic waste from agriculture and forestry waste. It is a highly complex structure with huge surface area and it acts as a fantastic insulating material. It captures large quantities of practically immobile air. Biochar as a building material is incorporated into Plaster and bricks. This creates indoor plastic with excellent insulation and breathing properties and able to maintain the humidity levels in a room at 45 to 70% both in summer and winters. The properties of biochar are it has low thermal conductivity, it absorbs water up to 6 times its weight, and the advantages are it improves air quality, it soaks up moisture, it has insulating properties, it protects from radiation, it allows buildings to be turned into carbon sinks. Thank you.